You know, Shettima is trying to cover up something underneath. There is this very serious search for his replacement. And so, he too is planning very, very hard to manage the situation, how he will respond.
Just a few hours ago, today, I did put out a statement where I, in fact, dismissed some of the rumors swirling around this question regarding, speculated possible replacement of the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima. I did put out the statement to, make clear, to state categorically that our party, that story is, simply exists only in the realm of rumors and speculation, and that there's no fact to it.
The Northeast has read the Riot Act that an attempt to substitute Shettima is as good as the threat of President Trump to attack Iran. So Shettima is only just being evasive and economical with the truth.
So when you start making suppositions from the center, saying, let's change it from here and there, not understanding that these people, for them, politics is a way of life. They wait every 4 years to be able to line up. The man with his 4 wives and their 30 children, everybody's going to line up because that's where they know that they can have an impact in positioning Nigeria.
So far, so good. About 3 to 4 names of Christians have been penciled.
Such as?
Dogara,
Yakubu
Dogara, former speaker, Bishop Kukah.
Matthew Hassan Kukah.
Yes, Matthew Hassan Kukah. General Musa, Christopher Musa.
That's
the former CDS.
Who is the Minister for Defense now?
Defense now. And George Akume.
Okay, SGF.
The current SGF.
When they speculate and begin to suggest names as possible replacement of the sitting vice president, that is wrong. And it's simply, mischievous, intended to sow discord and confusion in the polity, which is why I had to come out today with very clear statement to, dismiss that suggestion.
This idea of replacing Shettima is to try to please the Americans, because one of the major grudges of the American president is the Muslim ticket. And President Tinubu has realized that he can't sustain it.
When the time comes, our party has all of the sensibilities and the enormous, wherewithal to carry that conversation to the level where it will be rested.
All right.
In the best interest of our country. I think that's really what matters today.
You think that if the APC toys with the idea of changing Shettima on the ticket, it might be risky?
I think so. I really do. I think if we toy with changing the construct of what we have now is a problem. If there's no northern, and I'm going to say it as it is, if there's no House of Fulani Kanuri Muslim on that ticket, it just creates it's a hurdle, and that's the reality of the way the people think.
In Nigerian politics, rumors are cheap, but when rumors start collecting names, they stop being rumors. For months, the APC has insisted there is no plan to replace Vice President Kashim Shettima ahead of 2027. Yet, behind closed doors, a list is quietly forming. Not official, not announced, but unmistakable. Names from religion, names from legislature, names from the military, names from security architect, names from raw northern power. And once a replacement list exists, even unofficial, it means one thing. Someone somewhere is preparing for a possibility. In this video, we examine the names circulating to replace Shettima and why each option could either save Tinubu's 2027 ambition or destroy the APC from within. Let's be honest, vice presidential seats do not become negotiable unless power is under pressure. Shettima has not rebelled. He has not embarrassed the presidency. He has not openly challenged Tinubu, so why is his seat being discussed at all? 3 things may be the reason. Number 1, the unresolved Muslim problem. The ticket worked electorally in 2023, but politically it never healed. Christian resentment, especially in the North Central and parts of the Middle Belt, did not disappear. It was on the ground. APC insiders know this. Tinubu knows this. 2027 will not be won with the same excuses. Number 2, Northern power is fragmenting. The North that voted APC is no longer unified. Northwest wants dominance. Northeast wants relevance. North Central wants inclusion. Shettima represents only one of these interests. That creates ambition. 3. Tinubu's instinct to re-engineer coalitions. Tinubu is not sentimental. He recalculates, and once recalculation begins, loyalty becomes secondary to arithmetic. That is how Shettima's name quietly entered the danger zone. And first on the list is Bishop Kukah, symbolism over structure. Kukah's name is the loudest and most dangerous while it appeals to Northern Christian identity, moral authority, intellectual respect, strong contracts to APC's image. Why it fails politically? Kukah is not APC. Kukah is not loyal. Kukah has been openly critical of APC's government. At some point, Kukah would bring morality, not machinery. Choosing Kukah would signal desperation, not confidence. It would also trigger massive Muslim backlash, especially in the Northwest and Northeast. Symbolism can win applause, but it rarely wins elections. Next on the list is Right Honorable Yakubu Dogara, the bridge candidate. Dogara's name is more realistic. Why Dogara appeals to Northern Christians, experienced politician, former speaker, understands power negotiation, less confrontational than Kukah. But Dogara carries baggage, party switching history, weak grassroots control, seen as elite-friendly, not street-strong. Dogara might balance religion, but he does not command political fear. And in Nigerian politics, fear matters. And in the security sector, Lieutenant General Christopher Musa, the military gamble, floating the defense minister's name, is deeply revealing. Why APC strategies like it. Security credibility is involved. National discipline image, non-political neutrality, Northern Christian identity. And why is this name also risky? Militarization of politics optics, dangerous civilian military symbolism, fear of authoritarian drift, no electoral structure. This option would scare both voters and politicians. Nigeria's history makes this a very dangerous gamble. And again we have Nuhu Ribadu, the security star option. Ribadu is the most strategic and the most complicated. While Ribadu's name circulates, Northern Muslims softens backlash, anti-corruption credibility, security expertise, elites and international approval, seen as disciplined and loyal. While Ribadu is also risky, removes a powerful NSA from security architect, concentrates power dangerously, raises fears of a security state presidency, and threatens internal APC ambitions. Ribadu as VP will reshape Tinubu's government into a security-first regime that scares politicians more than voters. Abdulaziz Yari. Yari's name is not symbolic, it is brutal. Why Yari somehow appeals. The Northwest structure, grassroots muscle, political ruthlessness, ability to mobilize votes. And again why Yari is dangerous. Controversial reputation, corruption narratives, elite resistance, international image problems. Choosing Yari would signal war mode. It would tell Nigeria this election will be fought, not persuaded. That part rarely ends peacefully. here is the truth APC fears. Every single replacement option angers someone powerful. Kukah angers Muslims. Dogara disappoints the base. Musa scares civilians. Ribadu unsettles politicians. Yari terrifies moderates. And most importantly, dropping Shettima angers the Northeast deeply. Northern APC leaders are already sending quiet warnings. Loyalty matters. Sacrifice must be rewarded. Betrayal has consequences. Shettima stood firm in 2023 when the ticket was attacked. Removing him now would look like using the Northeast and discarding it. Tinubu now faces a defining choice: stability or experimentation, coalition or calculation. Once names begin to circulate, politicians enter a dangerous phase. Expectations rise, factions harden, truth erodes. Tinubu may still keep Shettima, but the danger of speculation is already done. Because now everyone knows the vice presidential seat is no longer sacred, and in Nigerian politics, once a seat becomes negotiable, power starts.